So at the time of writing this script, the Kingdom Rodimus giveaway has not been decided. But by the time you see this, entries will have closed and there will most likely be a winner decided. I say most likely because, well, the last giveaway I did, when all was said and done, had 350 entries. And normally when I wake up, one of my videos will have 150 comments to, on a busy day, 250. And normally at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the rate of comments heavily slows down, where usually after about 4 o'clock, I'm getting about 5 an hour. Yesterday, the first day of the contest, I woke up to 970 comments, virtually all of which were entering the contest. I'd say fewer than 1 in 30 were someone not going for the Rodimus. I woke up, started logging people entering the contest, had one meal, and went to bed, and save for 1 hour where I got into a stupid argument on Discord, did nothing else for 16 hours but write down entries. I only went to sleep because I'd finally logged all the entries that happened before I woke up, meaning that there were 16 hours of entries that happened after I started. And at no point during the day did the comments even remotely slow down. Normally by 8 o'clock at night, they'd have all but stopped. But I checked my new comments at 8, and it looked like new comment 3 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, and I just kind of died a little on the inside. At this point, there are well over 1,300 people who've entered the contest, and I'm not even close to done logging them all. And I have to make today's video. So I don't know if I will be able to do this and finish running the contest at the same time. I'm going to try my best to figure it out before the deadline, but expect the results to be delayed a day or two, because I have literally 2,600 comments to sift through right now. I'm so lucky this was the video I just happened to plan to do today, because I don't have the time to run a normal review. If you're wondering what this is, it's going to be a video where I insult the ever-loving hell out of the uglier Transformers designs. This is going to be a lot different than my normal content, so be prepared for that. And just remember, this is all meant to be in good fun. I'm not trying to convince you of anything, just trying to make an entertaining video. You all have been wondering where the sequel to the video where I cuss out movie designs is, considering it's been weeks since you voted on Beast Machines being the next thing to get this treatment. And the answer is, I just didn't want it to get stale by doing it again too soon. I want it to be a fun surprise when I do one of these videos, so they will be infrequent. But now, let's rip apart some Beast Machines designs. You know, many people, including myself, accuse Michael Bay's Transformers designs of being ugly as sin and nothing like what they should be because he was unfamiliar with the series and didn't care. But you know what? Now I'm thinking there's a good chance when he got the job, he was like, ah yes, Transformers, I know it so well. Those skinned animal abominations were some of the best things I've ever seen. What do you mean that's not the Transformers? Look, Transformers, right there. What do you mean that's a subheader? The Beast Machines designs are some of the most insanely hideous things ever made by a human, and they are forced down our throats under the mistaken belief that they are some kind of upgrade. Optimus Primal should have taken one look at what the Oracle did to him and come to the conclusion that it was some kind of portal to hell, and he just got lament configuration into some kind of Cenobite. Not that it was some divine thing that must be spread to the world no matter how much they obviously would not want that and would fight to the death to prevent it. This is a series where robots battle animals whose god has a sick and twisted sense of humor. These fuckers are actually all so ugly, it's really hard to find pictures of them on the internet, because no one wants to upload any. Everyone realizes that these designs are not for mortal eyes to see. I'm not joking about how hard it is to find good pictures of these hideous monstrosities. If I had the time, I'd just run through clips of the show and take screenshots. But I'm strapped, so I'm just gonna make do with the terrible pictures I can find. Let's start with the big ugly bastard himself. Attack on Titan called, they want to know if they can have their skinned Titan back. How is this the least cursed design of the whole show? I swear they ripped this head straight off and stuck it on the movie Ratchet, and yet somehow this is the least nauseating of any Maximal. In any other series, this thing would be the low point of the designs. Like one that no matter what, every other design in the show could point to and say, at least we aren't that. Here, this is the best one. That's how low the bar is. A skinned, perpetually confused looking, derpy-eyed monkey. What even is his coloring? It's just random. Parts of his face are blue, parts are gold, parts are orange, some of it is rubber, and some of it looks like hair. Specifically, his brain. His brain looks like it's made of hair. No wonder this version of Optimus is one of the worst leaders in the entire franchise. He is hair-brained. Oh my god, if you zoom in really far on his dumb fucking face, you get this hilarious looking, completely different face. I swear, this looks like an animated design. It's amazing how half the head is significantly better than the whole thing. I can't not see it now. It's always there. Oh wow, this is better. Oh my god, do I like this design now? And the monkey mode is a semi-realistic headed gorilla with hands larger than its torso. And I thought the Kingdom figure's hands weren't based on anything. Let's move on to Chidor. It is so bizarre how in every fucking shot of this guy, his face looks like it was badly photoshopped on. How do you make your own design look like it doesn't belong on itself? And don't worry, we'll get to you. So you notice how, like, his face kind of pulls away from this part of his chin? This really implies that all of this is not actually part of his head, but like a mask. What if I removed the crest and jaw strap? Ah, so this is what hate looks like. Why is Chidor's face just strapped to a xenomorph's head? Was the goal of the show to actually make the heroes look like nightmares? Who wanted this? And Black Arachnia seems to answer with, yes, that was the intent, why? She looks like a Disney princess that was infected with the necromorph plague. Seriously, she looks like if Jasmine was flayed alive and they left her hair. Forget a 5 head, this bitch has a 10 head. I swear her forehead has abs. Also, why? Why the extra set of derpy eyes? Was she not abomination enough? I swear, it looks like some kind of large, sad cat is trying to swallow her head. She has 6 eyes, and none of them are ever looking the same direction, and none of them have the same expression. These ones are annoyed. These ones look excited like a dog whose bowl you are filling with food, and the top ones always look sad. Also, quick question, why does she have hair? I know they are techno-organic, but I can't help but notice that there are only 2 characters with hair, and if you ask me, both of them were probably intended to be female. Let's just talk about the Fraternacons for a minute, cause not even the robotic designs were allowed to be cool. And I get what stupid bullshit they were going for here. Like, the dichotomy of machine versus animal, so the machines don't have faces, while the animals do. Like, whoa bro, so deep. Except the Fraternacons are absolutely supposed to have faces, so you are just left with this awkward scenario where their metal grills squish and stretch like they are made of meat. Except for Tankor, who has this awkwardly positioned actual mouth. I would love it if it were this thing and he were to talk like this, but his actual mouth is just the entire lower half of his head. Then you get to Thrust, who's got this ugly sideways mouth, and then you have the only enjoyable character in the show. The only enjoyable character in the show! Jetstorm. And he honestly looks like he's wearing a surgical mask at all times. So, while I see their intentions, they just fucking failed them, and it literally kneecapped the designs for stupid reasons. Then you have Botanica, who looks like probably whatever sexual fetish the artist who came up with her had, but to just about everyone else looks like a sleep paralysis demon. And there was never a toy of this bitch because the creators were idiots. She had 2 robot modes, and they were so impossibly different that there was physically no way to design a figure of her. Way to go, guys, you completely failed the whole point of the series. Though, to be fair, this is one of the few Transformers shows where the characters looked nothing like their toys because the toy team and the show team were working completely independent of each other. Honestly, that was probably for the toys' benefit. It's better they didn't look like these designs because people might actually pick them up if they don't resemble these unholy freaks. Then you have Rat Trap, who took the longest of all the characters to figure out how to transform because in this show they had to figure out how to transform. And that's probably a good thing because he was perhaps the most cursed design in a show full of cursed designs. Who you just kind of got to assume the showrunners hated, because he is the single most useless and maligned character in the whole thing. God, he's so creepy looking. Look at this promo picture where they tinted him in red light. It's like they knew they were making a horror show. Like an actual horror TV show. Now this face is cursed beyond all reason, but that's not to say that it's the ugliest the show had on offer. No, that title goes to the last 2 characters I've yet to show off. First of all, you've got Night Scream. Fucking why with the emo fop? The first time I saw this heinous son of a bitch transform, and his hair had a sequence of its own dedicated to it, I knew I was going to hate him. Then I scrubbed this terrible thing from my memories because no sane mind can hold this image, and when I watched the show again a couple years back, I was like, why don't I remember this character? At which point he transformed and his hair instantly unlocked those delightfully repressed memories. Also, this freak attacks by shooting out vampire dentures on a string to drink his enemy's energon from a distance, and I am not kidding about any of that. But you know what? Looking at this design close up, and I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be a woman until the absolute last minute. The giant eyes, the delicate features, the luscious eyelashes and pouty lips, the decorated eyebrows, and yes, the hair screams that this was designed to be a woman. And then they just slapped a male voice on it and called it a day, probably for some stupid you can't have too many girls in a boy show reason. Not that this design would be made better by it being a girl, it'd be exactly as much of an abomination. The fucking little ankle wings he flies around on like some kind of malformed Hermes. Why could they do nothing normal in this show? And finally, the creme de la crap, Silverbolt. Ugh. People often say how much better the animation in Beast Machines is over Beast Wars, and maybe that's true, but what's the point of having better animation when you use it for evil like this? Give me Beast Wars' outdated animation any day of the week. They flat out ruined Silverbolt's character in this show by making him literally believe, what even is the point of good or evil when I'm so ugly? And while yes, that is stupid beyond belief, you kind of also have to agree with him because he really is that fucking hideous. What is even going on with his design? What is this half Japanese Ronin, half Native American thing going on here? Or maybe it's like, all Ronin, why the fuck does a robot have a top knot? And that fucking chin that can cut diamonds. He's fucking baggy-eyed with the douchiest beard I've ever seen, and his beast was just, what the fuck? Is it supposed to be an eagle? It looks like a turkey. It looks like an angry turkey. Why does the angry turkey have a giant nose on top of its head? What can I add to this design other than to just show it to you and have you cringe at it? You remind anyone else of Samurai Jack? I have not done justice to how ugly these designs are. I might have to do a roast of these abominations twice. I might need to go out and get better pictures of these just so I can show you how insanely ugly they are. Why the fuck do they look like this? Who wanted this? How do you guys like this one compared to the previous one? I feel like it wasn't as good as the one I did for the '07 film. Anyways, that's not half of what I have to say, but it's enough what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please, share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.